Hello everyone. Welcome to another lecture in verbal logic. The topic that we will be doing today is summary. Now, of late, summary has become one of the most asked questions in CAT exams, precisely because of the number of increasing questions for the last 4 5 years. Every year, for the last 4 to 5 years, we are seeing an increase in the number of questions in summary. Now, although this topic doesn't have a lot of logical alignment in terms of getting the answer, but knowing how to really get the summary is the point to understand going ahead. Also, with the advent of too much of information and information overload, summarizing info, as you can see in reading comprehension questions as well as here, is the way forward. So, before further ado, let's go on and understand the topic in a bit detail. So, summary basically is a topic that asks you of one very simple question. How do you comprehend a certain text and provide the gist of the passage in the best possible way? So the idea of summary is the gist of the passage or the paragraph. So when you're doing the gist or when you're writing the gist, you need to be careful that gist should involve all major points of the passage. And that's the point we will constantly focus on as we go on. Summary is an art of writing the gist, and gist should involve all the major points of the passage. Typically, people face a lot of challenges while writing summaries. Few of them are listed here. First one says lack of understanding of the central idea of the passage. Without proper understanding of the central idea, if you write the summary, it will always look half cooked. Second is lack of ability to decipher the main ideas from the supporting idea. In a summary, it is very important, and that's the point we will also understand. Is summary, there are two things: main idea and supporting idea. Supporting idea has to be avoided. So examples of supporting idea are explanations or examples. All these do not or should not be a part of the main summary. Summary should only be a comprehensive gist of the main idea of the passage. So lack of ability to decipher the main ideas and supporting idea also is one of the challenges faced, resulting in the fact that people put more supporting ideas in terms of explaining their point, which is not needed in a summary. Too much focus on examples and explanations. This I've already covered when I've said you need to avoid the supporting idea, especially in form of explanations and examples, because summary has to be a point of all main ideas or major elements. Supporting elements do not find a role. So always remember, brevity is the soul of summary, and identifying the central idea is the major task. So unless you don't identify the central idea clearly, your summary will never be right, and your summary has to be as brief as possible. So these points introduce the topic of summary. I hope you have understood what is summary and what are the typical challenges faced. Let's move ahead. Now let's understand an approach to solve this. To crack summary questions, following approach is needed. Right. Let's look at an approach. The first one says clear comprehension of the passage, and this we have discussed when we said that understanding of the main idea or the central idea is pivotal. With total understanding of main and subordinate points, we have to clearly categorize the main points with the subordinate points, and with this categorization you have to avoid anything which is subordinate, only stick to the main points. Understanding the tone and style of the passage. So tone and style is a topic which I'll be covering in depth when we are doing reading comprehension, but only for now. Tone and style basically refers to the way the passage is written, the emotions that the passage is trying to convey. That's a tone and style. So once you understand the tone and style, your summary should also have. So the point here is your summary should also have similar tone and style. And third point is writing the main points without any explanation. So don't use explanations and justification to write the point. So first is clear communication with total understanding of main points and subordinate points. Second is understanding the tone and style and writing the summary in the similar tone and style. And thirdly, that writing the main points without any explanations or justification. So basically, if you were to understand in terms of characteristics, it has three characteristics. Characteristic number one, summary is concise. It condenses information, so be brief and comprehensive. Don't use too much of detailing. Number two, it is accurate. So summary needs to provide the exact picture of the passage. Avoid additional details that other than what is mentioned. Do not add additional details from your own mind. It needs to be accurate with respect to the main question. And third, it has to be objective. It should only contain the author's viewpoint, not your viewpoint. It can't be biased. It has to be objective with reference to what author has said. I hope this approach has given you good understanding. Let's look at few traps which typically people fall into when they're trying to crack summary questions. So the first trap that you need to avoid at any cost is incomplete or partially complete ideas. And that goes back to the categorization of main and subordinate ideas. So options that are true but do not summarize the author's overall points have to be avoided. So this has to be avoided. Complete ideas are good, incomplete partial ideas not to be a part of the summary. Repetition of points. Answers that repeat premises of the argument without giving overall picture. If it's just a repetition of already existing point without identifying the overall picture, then all these points also have to be avoided. Third is no paraphrasing. Avoid paraphrasing, as summary should reduce the size and not just paraphrase. For the ones who do not understand paraphrasing is writing the text in your own words. So the idea of summary is not to paraphrase the passage, because summary should reduce the size, and with paraphrasing all you do is just write the whole idea in your own words without really condensing the content, which is the intent of the summary. So again, paraphrasing is something that should be avoided at any cost. So that brings me to the end of the concept video. I hope you understood what summaries are, how important it is in terms of coming in the entrance exams. Please go back to the approach and understand how to really figure out a summary in each questions, and that should follow the basic characteristics that we have discussed. We have also touched upon the traps that needs to be avoided at any cost so that you don't make mistakes in these questions. I hope I've given you enough material in terms of understanding summaries. Hope to see you in the practice video for summary. Thank you for watching.